Good morning and good morning to your viewers.
Professor, did you hear my question?
Yes, I didn't hear the question. If you can just repeat the question.
The ANC Caucus in Parliament has agreed to support the process to set up this inquiry around the Public Protector. Is this in a way the ANC throwing the Public Protector to the wolves?
Yeah, well, if you look at the National Congress, the way they have been voting, I think we've got a pattern here in South Africa where the ANC have always voted according to party lines. But now we've got an issue here with a public protector, which to a certain extent, even if she has not yet been found guilty in a court of law, fact of the matter is she is a huge liability to constitutional democracy in the country. And unfortunately, within the African National Congress, you've got those who are fighting for their political life, and they would like to have somebody of the caliber of our public protector to continue to be in office. But unfortunately, or fortunately for South Africans, irrespective of which political party they belong to, we've got the so-called voices of reason within the African National Congress, and I think they would like to see an end to the reign of our public protector.
There have been some suggestions that this voting or this agreement by the caucus is on factional lines.
Yes, most definitely. If you look at the current situation, but it will all depend, because remember, those who like to vote differently to what the ANC will eventually decide within their caucus, it will all depend, and I know what is going to happen. If it's a vote by raise of hand, then I don't think many ANC MPs will vote against the decision that the ANC have taken. But if it's a secret vote, then there is a huge guarantee that the caucus will be divided. But definitely the life of the future of the public protector does not depend on the opposition party, but definitely on how the ANC is going to navigate its way around this. But as I've indicated, the ANC, some members of the ANC definitely would not like to see, the public protector leaving office.
Well, the ANC chief whip in that little clip that we showed a little earlier on said that this is only part 2 of the process. Can you take us through what happens from here on in?
Yeah, it's still a long way. I even foresee a situation where the public protector may still see out her term, which is almost less than 2 years. What should be happening next is that the report from the independent panel should be tabled once again at Parliament, and we've already seen, from the chief whip in Western Cape indicating that they are not satisfied with the way the Speaker, Thandi Modise, dealt with this issue. So I foresee a situation where the African National Congress may even table a motion or counter motion to say that they are not satisfied with the process, and then the process has to be started all over again. But if they are going to accept the report, it is only then that the voting processes will start, but only once this has been once again tabled within Parliament. But then all these can take months before it can eventually reach a state where we can say that now voting is going to take place against the public protector.
Well, Professor, the inquiry that was carried out by the group led by Constitutional Court Judge Bess Nkabinde seems to suggest that there is no coming back for the public protector. What are her chances based on this report?
Well, there are charges. You can't have, for me, what stands out is a serious charge. If you look at the Vrede Dairy issue, where the public protector, actually it's shocking. We still have a situation where our parliamentarians have to decide about this. For me, the public protector should have been asked to leave by the president. But you're not going to get that from President Cyril Ramaphosa. You can't have a situation where he went and speak to the premier, the very same former premier, Secretary General, who is also implicated in somehow within the Vrede Dairy or some of the issues that happened in the Free State, to go and ask him, but who should she actually approach as witnesses within, to interview for his report, for her investigations. Now you can't actually do a situation like that. But also, if you look at some court cases that she has lost, it's almost like, I know she does get a legal opinion and legal advice. Sometimes it's almost like she does not care what will be the consequences of her decisions. And you can't have somebody sitting in that office who seems to not apply a rationality to certain issues. Because at the end of the day, the decisions that she makes may have a huge impact on the future of this country and the whole notion of advancing constitutional democracy in South Africa.
So in many ways, this justifies the DA's call for that possible impeachment then, because if, as you suggest, she does have an advisory panel who gives her their thoughts, certainly, before she makes certain decisions.
And that's where part of the problem starts. I've even written in an opinion piece to say that even if the ANC wanted to vote, for the motion, for the mere fact that it comes from the DA, they're going to dismiss that. And that's where the problem that we have in South Africa. I think an organization with more than 100 years being in existence should be able to put the interest of South Africans above petty political interest. And it's exactly my point that the Democratic Alliance has a credible point. I mean, I've never seen a public institution or a Chapter 9 institution so heavily criticized, so severely compromised as our public protector's office under the leadership of Ms. Mkhwebane. We had very controversial public protectors in the past, but I think she's taking the cup, and definitely there should be consequences. Unless if we want to once again throw the little bit that is still left of our democracy out of the window.
Now, just to throw something in there, the fact that the last two public protectors, this one included, have been women, does this jeopardize the possibility of the next public protector being a woman based on the current performance?
No, I don't think so. And I think that will also be naive if anybody would come up with such a recommendation. But we all know the underlying dynamics that plays out to say maybe it is because of agenda. But I don't think we have reached that stage. It will all depend on those who will apply for the position in future. But I don't think that this will jeopardize any women or female who aspire to, occupy the office of a public protector in South Africa. In actual fact, we had one of the most powerful public protector, and that was a woman. So this, from the beginning, I think there's been a lot of controversy around the public even before she could have been appointed. But in South Africa, we don't, look at the winning signals. We want something to happen, and it's only then that we react. And it's exactly where we find ourselves now.
Professor, lovely speaking to you. Thank you for your time. That was Professor Sethugelo Matebesi, a political analyst.